everyone. I hope you are safe and sound. So before hand over the session to Mr. Vishesh sir, I would like to introduce all. Okay. Currently, Vishesh sir is serving as an assistant professor in the Department of Petroleum Engineering at Lovely Professional University, right? And Mr. Vishesh sir has also served as junior environmental engineer in US based environmental company in the domain of oil and gas site pollutant cleanup, right? And he has knowledge regarding research work. So his research interest lie in the area of reservoir engineering, reservoir simulation, petroleum production, data science, and Python programming, right? And he has published some research papers in SCI Scopus Index Journal. Okay, so Vishesh sir has around 5 to 6 year experience. He has vast knowledge about petroleum engineering. Okay, so this is a great pleasure for us that Mr. Vishesh sir are interacting with us, right? So Vishesh sir, please share your knowledge. This will be beneficial for us.
Thank you so much, everyone. And this, thank you, Mr. Dushyant Sharma,
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
actually introducing me in such a way. Thank you so much. Let's begin with the presentation. I'm going to share with you some of my knowledge regarding digitalization of oil and gas industries.
Yeah, it is visible. It is visible. Vishesh sir, start your session, please. This is visible. Your presentation is visible.
So, okay, let's start with the webinar on digitalization of oil and gas industries. Okay, so digitalization is about collecting the data and storing it, right? So as these term is go on, we have added the word digitalization. Okay, so this digitalization is about using those data to make our business more easy, right? So implementation of digitalization in oil and gas industries will make their business more reliable. Okay, because as you can see in the industry's downturn, okay, because there are a lot of up and downs, right? Means the last 5 to 6 years we saw there's a lot of downturn now. Okay, sometimes price may be a little bit higher, sometimes price may be a little bit low, right? So this digitalization will be a need in the future for the oil and gas industries to make their business more reliable, right? Because nobody wants that their business will suffer because of some catastrophic events or maybe uh, price fluctuations, right? So what is there in the digitalization we will see today. So actually, so in the digitalizations, we need a digital technology. So where we can use this one, because we have to one by one we need to see like what we need to start. What are the components are there in digital technologies will help us, okay, to we can implement it to the oil and gas industries, right? So one thing is come into our mind is that because in digitalizations, as we can see right now we are in the digital stage, right? Means everyone is connected with each other, right? Even we are sitting in a home and there are distances far, but still we are connected with each other via what? Means we have a social media, we have what for chatting, for chat we have a various apps, right? So still we are connected and we can transfer our money. That is the part of the digitalization, right? So those connections are already made, right? Okay, so we need to implement the same thing in our oil and gas, okay, where we have a physical asset and the associated data we need to connect with each other, right? So who will help us? So internet of things is one point is there, okay, which we can connect with that, okay. Other than that, we need a like real time information. We can transfer our these data to some other locations. That is also one thing. Other than that, we need to implement something that is detect the leak. That is also a part of the digitalization. Other than that, you can see there are some of these equipments are there which we need to be replaced even without a man, right? So automated system we needed re- uh, to to heal those ones. So who will help us? The nanotechnology is there to help us. Dushyant sir, 1 minute.
Okay, okay. What happens, sir?
Actually, there is a lot of background noises are there. So
Just wait.
yeah.
Now you can continue, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now see that in digitalization, what are those important components which will help us to reach up to that stage, right? So one point is that is big data. And so many people are there right now is talking about the big data. Hmm? Big data is there. Other than that, we will see that in whole world, people are talking about the data sciences. Hmm? People are talking about the jobs in the data analytics, right? So it's not just that those jobs are only for computer science people or software person. See, those jobs are for us because we are the petroleum engineers. And see, if market is changing, if markets are changing, so definitely we have to be more dynamic according to that. Where wind is flowing, we don't need to go against the wind, right? We need to flow with the wind. Right now, the scene is there. Okay, so we have to more adapt with those things which is coming in the new world, right? So big data is the one thing, okay, where those big data deal with these four V's. As you can see, there are volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. So how we can connect the dots with our oil and gas industry. So as you can see in the oil and gas industries, there are a large amount of the data which is generated during all these operations. Okay, as we know, we are familiar with all these petroleum. So many people, and even in your curriculum, you can see that you studied seismic, geophysics, you have a drilling, you have a reservoir, you have a subsurface operation. Okay, so those things are generating the vast volume of the data. Okay, but what you can do with those, right? Okay, because you need to transfer those data. Okay, you need to analyze those data. There are different variety of data is available with us. Okay, and even the reliability of on those data is also varies because see we can't rely on those data every time, right? So what we need to do is we need to check those data. So these are the 4 points are there which is the connected with the big data. Other than this, second point is the Internet of Things because see generation of data. As you can see, one example I can take it during MWD and LWD operation, right? So in those operations, the rate of penetration is there. Okay, how much is the drilling rate is there, right? So those data is need to be actually those are generating. But what is the uses? How are you going to transfer those data, right? So there are telemetry systems there, so we can transfer those data, okay, to the surface. Okay, right now, is it not feasible that we can sit in the field and doing all the work? That is not feasible. We need to transfer those data, definitely. So how we can transfer those data? There are cloud computing systems, cloud system is there. Okay, so we will send those data with the antenna to the cloud system, and then we can, so wherever, if you are working, if you have a field in the remote location, so you are sitting in your office, you can access it and see when, while you can analyze those during that one, what is the rate of penetration, you can see the log, everything. So that is the part of your big, right? After that, so and see who will going to receive those data. So as you can see, signals, these sensors are there which is connected to them. Those will going to collect all those data, and then they will send, right? So that's why some of these electronics part is there that will help us to connect with our digitalization, right? So both of these things we need to combine, and then finally we will come to the data analytics part. Now, data analytics, why is that important to us? These data analytics is important to us because we need to check the performance, and we need to analyze what will be the valuable insight in the future. Okay, for the data insight, we need to create certain model with the help of algorithm, right? Okay, so once we will create those algorithms, they will provide us that what will happen and what will be going to, what will be going to be happen in the future. Okay, so it maybe in terms of that, you can connect with the same thing with your seismic, you can connect with the same dot with your drilling partners. Okay, so once it will be computed, okay, as you can say, one example I can take it related to reservoir actually. Okay, so we have a reservoir simulation model we need to create, right? So we have, because every time, as you can see in the reservoir simulation, we have to create a reservoir simulation model. We need to discretize, and then these models we need to implement in the way of algorithm. I don't know means how many of you are more familiar with the reservoir simulation, because as you can see, there are a lot of these reservoir are more complex, and these reservoir need to be actually mathematically represented by some equations. Also, obviously, those equations we need to transfer into the algorithm, and then algorithm will be more into, you can see, this algorithm will help us to predict the future performance of our reservoir. So we can connect those dots like this one. The same thing will happening when you are developing your new business, because uh, as you can see, there are something internal rate of return is there. Okay, discounted cash flow return is there. Okay, those business part we need to do after, once you will done your reservoir simulation model thing. Okay, you have to go for that. Is it feasible for me to run those reservoir simulation? Okay, how much money I will going to make it after that? So you, these economics part also you need to model after that. So one by one step is there. Okay, so one by one step is there, where every these steps we need this combination of these two. Okay, so that's we can say that those are the digitalization. Okay, so that is the thing from, so we can see the overview of these two. Okay, that what is digitalization, and what are the components are there which help us to make our digitalization in the oil and gas industry. Okay, so we have today. First is I will going to review some of the basic things related to digitalization. Okay, need of digitalization in oil and gas industries, current trend in the market. After that one, digital themes in the oil and gas industries, and after that one, we will going to see the implementation of digital technology is in oil and gas companies, and finally, we will come to the conclusion. So we have why we need actually. I think I already introduced you uh, with the digitalization, but why we need this digitalization? Okay, so obviously the vast amount of the data is being generated. Okay, during the various process. Okay, now these data is available to us in very easy way, right? So these data we need to collect, we need to store. Okay, and those data will help us to make our making decisions. If finally these decisions will be based on maybe related to your business. Finally, one thing I keep in mind every time, that means everything we are doing, maybe in drilling part, maybe in reservoir part, okay, or maybe in your production part. Okay, so ultimately the things will come in your how much you are investing and how much you are saving. So ultimately, that business model, that optimization study come into picture every time. Okay, because company, so you are the employee, you are the engineers, you will talk about more in technical way. But it comes to the management side, you have to connect your points, your engineering part, your technical part with your business, right? So ultimately, company will say, okay, means is it means whatever operation we are implementing, that is the costlier one, or maybe we can make it more feasible, right? So you have to make it those one in very optimized way, right? So those way these digitalization will help us, okay, and even these digitalization will help us to compute very complex model also. So those will help us to make a better decision rather than doing taking a small fraction of data and analyzing everything and giving to the management, right? So we have opportunities. Okay, so we can collect the vast amount of the data, analyze those one, and then to give to the your management. Okay, now need for the digital empowerment. So right now, as previously I told you, there are a lot of fluctuation in the prices. Okay, there are uh, new renewables resources are there, which is going to be major challenge for oil and gas industries right now. Okay, so and even in past 5 or 6 years, you can see there are rapid changes in those situations. Markets are so much volatile. Even their supply chain are actually uh, are not that much up to date. Means we because see, means if there is no demand, how will you going to supply? Okay, so there are not constant supplies there. Okay, so how will you tackle those situation? Okay, so obviously those situation can be tackled while you, because right now if you will producing your oil with the $40 or $50, so maybe you can implement these digitalization, okay, in oil and gas industries, and might be you can reduce your cost $5 per ton, right? So those adoption of digitalization and business operation will boost your performance, and that will be more efficient. So, and even digitalization will going to minimize the risk involved, whatever the day-to-day activity we have. So those things we will see in the upcoming slides. Okay. Now, as you can see, there are few companies are there in oil and gas industries. Those opt for the digitalization. So as you can see, the big names. Okay, Shell is there, ExxonMobil is there. Okay, Baker is there, and you will see some of the US companies are there. BP is there. They are even Halliburton and these Halliburton are there. Rutherford is there. So they are more dominant in the market. But what they see that they have to be very they have to flow with the digitalization, right? Because if they will not flow, ultimately they will be having the huge losses. So they begin their journey in digitalization. Okay, they opt for that one because that is more beneficial while using those uh, uh, these these digitalization in there. So obviously, these digitalization will going to transform these oil and gas industries. So as you can see, the right now in the live examples, see right, see we opt for digitalization and payment. Right? We don't need to go now for to the bank. Okay, while withdrawing the money, or we don't need to go to the ATM and several times while withdrawing the money. Okay, just you are sitting there with your maybe mobile phone is there, you can transfer your money easily. Right? The same thing is happening in your oil and gas industries. But see, these are the very simple processes there in the banking system. But if you will check with the oil and gas industries, there are a lot of processing facilities are there. Implementation will take a little bit more time. Okay, but ultimately, those complexity will going to be over. Okay, some of these uh, even countries like Kuwait, they wanted to transform their economy. Okay, while implementing the digitalization, right? So similar steps will be taken by another country. Okay, so we want to need to be leave behind in such scenarios, right? Because as you can see, there are changes are there because dynamicity is there. So if we are not implementing within our system, somebody else is there who will going to change, and that will going to grab some such things. Okay. Now, in general way, I wanted to say in digitalization that what will be there, we can implement this. So in right now, I'm not going to talk about the oil and gas industries right now. Okay, about these points. Okay, but we will going to connect later on the what these dots with our oil and gas industries. So first thing is your customer interaction. So how these digitalization will help us to interact with the customers, right? So as you can see, customer interactions is very important, hmm, because as you are there with your oil and you wanted to sell those oil, right? So if we have digital platforms, okay, you don't need to go in the market, okay, like what is the practice there? What is the practice there? That means you have like in North Sea or maybe in WTA crude oil, how they sell. Okay, so those will be actually you will be having the market. Okay, so you will go there with your tanker and then you will have to sell. Okay, so those things are not there right now. Hmm? Who will be the buyer? The refinery going to be the buyer. So as per you know the customer very well. Okay, there are digital platforms is there. You can directly connecting with them with on the digital platforms, and you are selling your oil directly to those clients too. Okay, so that's why we are. You can see that digitalization will more connect you with your customer. After that one, decision making. Okay. So there are, as you can see in the one example we already took related to MWD and LWD, right? So drilling site is there where massive amount of the volume of the data is reduced every day. Okay, and previously in traditional way we have to generally take a small fraction of data because we do not have a sophisticated technology to to analyze those vast amount of the data. So what we done, we took some of the fraction of those data and analyzed. Okay, so might be those data will going to tell you very means will going to help you to make a very good decision, or maybe it will going to make you very worst decision. Okay, because we don't know, because we are taking only small fraction of data. So how do these small fraction of data will represent all these things, right? So as you can think that we need all these data, we have to analyze all these data, and then we will come to the decision, right? Okay, the same thing. This digitalization will help us. Okay, so digitalization will help us to analyze all these big amount of the data, which is producing maybe in gigabytes or maybe in terabytes, right? So those you have to feed in your system. Okay, and you need to analyze, and after that one, those whatever the results will come, will you have, that will be the true representation of your process. What it means, whatever you are doing, like means maybe oil and gas industries drilling part, or maybe seismic part you are doing. So those whatever decision you will going to make it, that will come into this picture. After this one, flexibility, performance, and profitability is there, where digitalization will help us. Okay. So flexibility. Previously, also I told you there is a lot of volatility in the market. Okay, so flexibility is that digitalization will make us more flexible. Okay, because we already know that with the help of digitalization, that means what will be the pace of the market. Okay, so we this predictable change is there now, that will make us to make the decision. Okay, because and ultimately it will impact our performance. Okay, so these will actually this will make more impact on the performance. So performance in terms of what? In terms of your operational wise and more effectiveness in your business. Operational wise is what? Because as you can see, if we are implementing digitalizations, more digital sensors and drones are working in the area. Okay, what they will going to do is they will going to keep monitor those things. They will going to monitor the assets. Okay, and see where we need to cut off the operations. We easily can cut off those operations. Okay, because as you can see, there are SCADA system is there in every industry. So what these SCADA system do? They control over all the process. Okay? So So if you will cut off one thing, obviously that will going to be, because that amount of the oil will not be going to be in the market, because as you are reducing your output from your industries, so that amount of the oil will not going to be outside. Okay, so you are connected with your customers, how much is the need is there. Okay, as per their need, you will going to give the uh, output to your customers, right? After that one, this will help us to increase the profitability. Okay, so obviously, if we are improving the performance, that will allow the highest profit margin. Okay, so digitalization will going to reduce your operation cost. It will increase the automated workflow. It will monitor the performance of the laborers also, but it will also monitor the processes, okay, which is happening in what maybe in your surface or surface production equipment, whatever the processes that you can monitor. Right? So each and every step you can monitor, okay, and bring down your means whatever the excessive operation cost is there, and with the help of that one, you can reduce the cost, more effectiveness, more safety you can generate in your industries. Okay, so it will going to boost your profitability. Now the impact of digitalization in traditional market. See, as previously I told you that internet is there, okay, which is transforming our life as well as the market also. Hmm? So business all around the world, okay, they have to utilize these technology the same as the oil and gas is utilize that those things. Okay, because digitalization is actually having the opportunity to collect the data in the real time basis, right? So and you can these collection of the data in the real time basis, you can transfer those data, okay, easiest way to any other locations. Like previously I told you that MWD and LWD data, which is generated in the remote location, can be easily transferred via these cloud systems to other location where other engineers can analyze the, and whatever the problem in this during logging while drilling can be those problems can be introduced. Okay, so the same thing is happening in how these this digitalization is impacting your oil and gas industries. After that, some of these points are there which will be uh, need to be considered. So digitalization will help us to make our all these operations cost effective. Okay? Then then we will going to be a more result oriented. Okay, so result oriented means because as operational cost we are reducing, more effectiveness we are implementing in our industries. Okay, so those will give you the quick results. Okay, it will not take months, weeks, or even years, okay, to give the result. Right now, if you will see about the sales in the market, right? If you can take one example on the sales, right? So the product is that oil and gas is also a product to us, right? So identifying that how much will be the sale in upcoming future, right? So if we work in the traditional way, it will take us more time, okay, to analyze the what is the demand in the market. But digitalization is capable to quickly identify the scenario of the market, okay, in real time basis, and you can pump the same amount of the oil into the market. Okay, so ultimately what you are going to do is you will going to save your because see, once oil into this these in the market, so we have a limited storage units, right? We have a limited storage ships, right? So if once it will be market, that will be you have to be sold, okay, because there is a cost involving in storing those oil and gas. So, so see, so if your crude oil is there in the ships or maybe in tanker, maybe a storage unit, so ultimately you have to sell it. Otherwise, you have to stop the production. The same scenario is happening in the last 5 years, right? So these predictions, if we will make it with the help of digitalization, this will definitely will help us to do our marketing. Okay, so the digitalization will going to save your time. Okay, and providing everything in real time basis. Engagements. So engagements it generally comes regarding with how much you are connected with your customers, how much your target audience is there. Okay, so digitalization will help us that within few minutes you can connect with your customers and you can sell everything. Means whatever the requirement is there, according to that one you can give them. Previously, what is happening in the traditional market, it will take maybe weeks and months because once order will come and then you will going to dispatch that one. So it will be take at least 7 weeks, 7 days, or maybe it will take months to give those things to your customers. So those now in this digitalization will help us to more connected with your customers. Okay, more engagement is there. Okay, so you can deliver your oil and gas to the customer directly with the help of that, with the help of digitalization. Now exposure. So you can, because our area is not restricted. Whatever producing you are in India, maybe in Mumbai High, you can sell in the US. Okay, in real time basis, you can sell into the China, you can sell to the Malaysia, you can sell to this one. Or maybe whatever producing in the US, or maybe producing in your North Sea. Okay, so those things you can deliver those things into the Indian refineries. Okay, so previously in traditional way, the things were moving a little bit slowly, but once it will come, the digitalization come into the picture, there will be fast pace is there, and we are quickly selling these commodity to refiners, right? So those things are currently going on in various upstream industries to the downstream industries. Now, now the few things are there that recent advancement in the digitalization in oil and gas industries. Okay, so improving the productivity also. Hmm. So digitalization is allow oil and gas industries to add value to their business while reducing the cost, increasing the productivity of their workforce, and also the decision making process. Right. So these digital solutions will not only create a streamlined process for hiring and training new employees, but also help the business to scale up to the new heights. So there are several reports are there which data is collected how these digital technologies will help us to improve the oil and gas industries. Okay, so as you can see, because ultimately, because even I will preach about that digital technology will help us to in such way, or maybe it will improve the cost effectiveness, it will improve the customer experience, or maybe we are more connected with the customers, we will sell those things. Yeah, yeah. So many things are there, but what is actually in the last 5 years we are seeing in digital tech? As you can see, this data that this digitalization tech in oil and gas industries is capable of unlocking approximately $1 trillion value of for oil and gas industries, and another $650 billion for the both the customers and society. So in customer and society way, you will going to save the money. Okay, and for the oil and gas industries, you will going to save. So both of these sides, win-win situation is there. After that, you will going to save $170 billion for the customers. Digital data transformation is set to improve the productivity by approximately $10 billion. Now, if you will see the another data that will talk about how much emission you are going to reduce, because as you can see now, more people, more government, more these high profile, you can see persons are there that they are talking about, okay, hey, we need to reduce over these pollutants into the environment. Okay, so we need to 2025 is this one target, 2030 is this target is that we need to reduce CO2 emission up to that one. So this digitalization will help us to reduce those emissions, right? So like CO2 emission is there. So there are 1,300 million tons of CO2 emission we can reduce with the help of digitalization. It will going to save up 800 million gallon of water and also avoid oil spill, which are equal to the 2,30,000 barrel of oil. So obviously, this much amount of the figure is there where we can see that these are the more reliable data. These are some of these more reliable data. Okay, so it's enough to implement these digitalization in oil and gas industry. So now, as you can see, there are various studies. Previously, I told you about various case studies are happening on digitalization, right? So, which play a very vital role in digitalization, right, for the oil and gas industries. Okay, so some of these initiative is already taken by the few of these industries are there. They are implementing those things in their operation. They are implementing those same digitalization in their workforce. Supply chain management, they are implementing those things in environment. They are uh, uh, implementing those things in their maybe customers or their community, right? So this how these are one by one. These visualization are going to help us each and every in a separate ways. Okay, so once it will be done, okay, more that will be a particular component is there. Okay, that will be going to be beneficial while implementing this digitalization and oil and gas industries. Okay. Now, what are the actually these are some of these data is there that is related to uh, digitalization in oil and gas industry. So you can see that asset life cycle management is there, collaborative ecosystem, how these digitalization will help us. Then now in innovative engagement models, new emerges. Okay, so these are some certain components are there which will be beneficial from your digitalization. Okay, so ultimately our focus will be on asset life cycle management. So as you can see, asset, so in asset, we have various these field will be there. In the fields, uh, we have a large amount of the oils. Okay, so and we will be implementing your exploration phase. We will be implementing drilling phase, right? We will be implementing your production phase, and so on. So these are actually the phases are there. Okay, which we need to and we need to convert those one into the cycle manner, right? Because see, if we are implementing one thing in exploration phase, okay, so obviously we are investing the money. In exploration phase, what is happening? Hmm? You are searching the oil. Obviously, geological studies is there, geophysical studies is there. Okay, whatever the data you will going to collect that one. So you need to store those data. Okay, you need to analyze those data. So those result will help us to take your next step. Okay, in the drilling, so what you will do, you will going to drill your pilot wells from that. So whatever information you will going to get from the pilot wells, those data you need to collect. Okay, so those data will and previously in exploration phase, whatever data you have collected, those two data, okay, you need to store. Okay, and further you need to utilize the same data for building your reservoir simulation model. Okay, and further, it's not only that in exploration phase you are doing only one option. Okay, maybe you can have a multiple options also. Hmm? So I was talking like as you can see in pilot projects you have done and you find that okay, I need to inject water. Okay, so I need maybe four space, five space, sorry, seven sport or maybe nine sport. These uh, uh, distribution of value should be there in my field. Okay, so those actually see if you implement whatever will be there means whatever these means sport pattern. Okay, so ultimately investment of the money is there. Maybe five sport is there more feasible to you. Maybe seven sport is not feasible to you. Maybe nine sport does not going to work. Okay, but ultimately those decision you have to make it when you will analyze those data, because ultimately your decision will come on the basis of data only. So you should have those technologies where you have to analyze your data. Ultimately, those analyzation is not there. So how you come up with the final results? How will you do the optimization? Okay, so one by one step, what I am telling you this, that why am I telling you this, that those you are collecting in the different phases. Okay, those data we need to collect. Okay, those data we need to analyze. We want those data to be reliable for the next phase. Okay, so that's how things will going to work. No? The same is we can say that those are management we are doing for the assets, right? We are doing those one with the management of the assets, because see, once you will do reservoir modeling, simulation, everything, okay, and vast amount of data again is there with you. On the basis of those data you have to again make the decision, okay, and those will help us to procure your equipment, surface equipment. Maybe you will go ahead with the separator, you can go ahead with the heat exchanger, what type of this must be you require, what type of different phases you are producing that one, so according to that one, or what type of, what size of tubing you require, okay, and so many things are involving in that one. So every phase you can't handle those data in the traditional way, or somewhere if you are handling that, or whatever decision you are making, that is not a reliable. So these digitalization will help us to analyze those data, okay. Okay, so based on those analyze, you can make your decision and you can implement those decision in your asset life. Other than that, there are few points more are there, that the collaborative ecosystem, innovative engagement models are there. Okay, and new merges. So in new merges are there because see, there are new energies coming out. Biomass energy is there, geothermal energy is there. So how you can connect your these energies with your oil and gas industries? So these things are there. So you can connect those one. So one by one you will see that your digitalization will help us to improve the set life cycle management. It will going to beneficial for us for the ecosystem. We can innovative engagement models we can create, and whatever the new technologies are emerging, we can connect to those one with those with our oil and gas industries. So that's how oil and these digitalization will help us in that such. Uh, so as you can see, these life cycle management of the assets. Okay, so this will help us to procure different components, then deploy and discover, maintenance, support, and disposal. Okay, so in such way, things will going to work. So you can I already connect you with your how life cycle management is going on in the oil and gas industry. So same you can implement the same way you can implement in your there. Collaborative ecosystems like integration of digital technologies in oil and gas ecosystem. So different participation is there. Okay, maybe some of working in the reservoir section, some maybe working in drilling section, some may be working in geophysical sections, some may be working in designing of these production equipment. Okay, chemical engineers are there. So these digitalization will make more communication among those engineers, right? So once, because see, integration should be there. Integration means the connection between those engineers, right? Previously, as you can see, practice in maybe in several big organizations like ONGC. Okay, there is no connections, right? Connections in terms of what? That okay, geophysicist, geologist is there. They will going to do their work, okay, and they will come up their geological model. They come up petrophysical. These engineer is there. They will come up their log analysis. Okay, then they directly send their data to reservoir engineers. So see, they will just send the data. Okay, there will be hardly a communications. Okay, but they will send their data to reservoir engineers. So whatever the discussion is there, that is the there is a lag, right? If there is no discussion, how this reservoir will engineers will get to know everything? Okay, so so reservoir engineer will going to presume their assumptions, right? He will going to create a scenario. So ultimately, whatever the model he will going to create, ultimately maybe lead to the in the wrong thing, right? So that will not going to truly represent your reservoir. So if there is a more communication, okay, so you will be having more better understanding about your reservoir, more better way you can create your simulation model, and then you can run those reservoir simulation model to predict the future performance of your reservoir. So in such way you can improve the performance of your reservoir, you can improve the performance of your team. So who will going to help us? Digitalization is there, will going to help us in such way. Other than that, recently I will told you that these biomass, solar, and geothermal, wind, water energy is there. Okay, so we need to collaborate in those energies. Okay, while reducing the cost of operations. Okay, so see, somewhere we need these actually these energies, somewhere we need it, because as you can see, because large amount of the operation is going on in our field, right? So we need electrical energy, right? So maybe we can get those electricity maybe from geothermal, maybe we can get those electricity from the solar, we can get those electricity by biomass. Okay, so we need to implement such new energies, okay, in our sectors. Okay, so in those implementations we require digitalization, innovative engagement models. Okay, so as we are shifting, so we need to implement our engagements with customers, we need to more punctual with the time. Okay, because see that, because time is having some values, right? Okay, so if we respect the time, so definitely time will going to respect us. So what is happening, that these digitalization will going to help us to reduce the operation time. Okay, it will going to reduce your operation cost, more effectiveness, more customer friendly. We will going to make it. Uh, we will going to be more connected with the customers, and according to your customer, you can change your business operations. Okay, so as you can see now that right now in the future there are a lot of uncertainties. If we will not going to implement the new technology in our industries, might be it will be a difficult for us to be survive. Hmm. So better you implement it early as possible. Okay, so you have to be more affordable than another these energies. Okay, you have to be more accessible to all to people, right? Then people will going to use now. Okay, so more engagement should be there. Maybe in, with companies, maybe with the people, maybe with the market. Okay, because see, which what I'm saying to you, right now people are using diesel car and coal car because they are affordable. Okay, maybe in the future, if electric car is more affordable, mm, okay, might be people are going to use those cars. Right, so we have to connect one by one. We have to implement the new technologies here. Maybe digitalization will help us to more we can connect with, like I said you previously. So implementation of digital technologies, oil and gas industries. So various examples which I gave you. Okay. So one example I gave you in terms of MWD and LWD. One example I told you about that you can implement this one in your reservoir simulations. Okay. See, digitalization doesn't mean that there is only one thing that is representing digitalization. Okay, because there are various points, various these things are there which is helping this to implement the digitalization. Like previously I told you that data sciences, okay, if we do not have a knowledge regarding the data sciences, how we will going to implement this? If we do not have any knowledge regarding the sensor technology, how we will going to implement it? Right? If we do not have any knowledge regarding statistical tool, how will you going to predict the future? We do not have knowledge regarding how to implement the algorithm. Okay, so that see this combination of different things will be there. Okay, so those will make digitalization. Okay, it's not a one thing. So all these one by one information is there. We need to collect that one. We need to implement those one. Okay, that's how it will be possible for us uh, to to make a path for the oil and gas industries. Okay, so as you can see, these components which recently talked about. That one is big data is there, IoT is there, mobile devices, cloud system is there, robotics means you have unmanned aerial vehicles, because as you can see your field is so much big. So right now what is the practice? You have to send your engineers to the various locations, so it will take time. So okay, so my field is located from my office about 50 kilometers. Okay, so I have to send, if I am having the wells, okay, in different location, like the 10 wells is there. So I will send my engineers. I am having only three engineers. I for one day I can send three people, right? Three people. But if you have unmanned aerial vehicle, you can surveillance your all these channels together within the one day. Okay, so that is all about the robot. After that one, artificial intelligence is there that will be help us to implement the digital technologies. Other than that, we have collaboration and social tools are there. Okay, and 3D technology is there. We have nanotechnologies there. Those are going to help us to implement those digitalization in oil and gas industry. Okay. As you can see, the recent year, okay, how much increment of uh, these uh, these technology will be there in digitalization. Okay, so rapidly we will see there is an increment on big data, maybe in IoT or maybe in mobile devices. See, mobile devices is actually uh, is just like we are sitting here, we are talking, okay, with the help of mobile. So those mobile devices should be there with the engineers, right? So they can talk with each other. So those practice previously is going on, but the new features in the mobile devices should be there, right? So maybe they adapt with the software, maybe they adapt with the apps, okay, and maybe they adapt with some of those technologies where we can easily scan few points. We can scan the things and we can get the data on the real time basis. You know what I'm talking about? It's like if you are doing the drilling operation, so obviously these if mobile device is there and whatever the operation is there, that will come into this maybe in you can see you can scan those one, okay, barcode or something, you can get all the information on the real time basis. So those implementation we can do in mobile devices. Cloud computing system, which previously I told you, the cloud, because large amount of the data you can store, because previously what is the industry practices? So they have these RAM memories are there. Okay, so they have a hard disk even bigger than the room. Okay, so they are storing those ones. But cloud system is will help us to storing those data. Okay, in such way manner that means you can access those data. Okay, means I am uploading those data. Okay, so right now I am uploading the data, and you can access those data. So you are sitting maybe in your home. I'm sitting in my home. I will upload those data. Okay, and then you can access those like the cloud computing system. Like that. So same is happening.
Vijay sir,
Uh, uh, yes.
We have
Actually,
to
we are about to finish. That's
okay. We have to finish in 2 or 3 minutes because we have some questions from the viewers. So I
okay.
have to ask. Okay.
Okay. So as you can see, these are some certain components are there which will help us to implement the digital technology in oil and gas industries. Okay, so I will share this PPT with you, so uh, you can see those one. And finally, I will come to the conclusion. So the oil and gas markets started reinvesting themselves to improve the efficiency as well as the overall productivity of their business operation. Okay, the development of the digital segment is set to bring a massive benefit to these industries. If appropriately implemented, it has got the power to completely revolutionize the operation in the oil and gas industries like other sectors. Since the oil and gas companies are still lagging behind in this advancement, the early adopters are set to reap higher profits and result in the both ups and downs. Okay, so as I'm just finished my PPT, so whatever the question is there, okay, you can ask them. Thank you so much. Dushan sir, actually, you can ask questions.
Sir, okay. First question, sir. How the oil and gas industry will pace their movement in upcoming future?
Okay. So, as I told you previously, that in digitalization, so obviously, see, a lot of things right now is changing. Means, especially in last 10 years, oil and gas industry is unable to implement. Okay, but some other industries are there which already implementing. They are moving in more better way, right? If we will not going to implement these new technology, new innovations in oil and gas industries, this is hard for us to be survive in the latter stage, right? So once we will be updating these one in our uh, industries, okay, so might be possible they will going to sustain maybe a longer time period. Maybe we are connected with customers in more in better way. Okay, maybe we are and whatever decision we are making in terms of in exploration phase, or maybe in the development phase, or maybe in the production phase, those will help us to reduce the operation cost. More effective way we can utilize our these money in those operations. So
In
that's why we definitely require digitalization in organizations.
okay, thank you, sir. And second question is, what is the role of data analytics in oil and gas digitalization?
Okay, data analytics, if you will see, uh, actually those are the engineers, right? If we better know the data, if we better play with the data, okay, and or maybe we come up with the certain decisions, okay. So those are the role for the data analytics, right? Okay, so say the same thing if you are a petroleum engineer, right? So ultimately, if you are maybe working in reservoir section, maybe in drilling sections, maybe in you are geophysicist or maybe metrophysics, ultimately you have to deal with the data, right? So in all those operations, what you are doing actually, you are processing those data, but you are taking a small fraction of data only. If you are good with the analysis of data, you can come up with you can analyze the large amount of the data. So once you will analyzing large amount of the data, you have to come up with the better results. You can predict your, maybe if we are talking about reservoir performance, you can predict in the better way. Okay, so that's why these data analytics role is there. Okay, so we need to combine reservoir engineers and data analytics together. Okay, because reservoir engineers should have a better knowledge of data analytics also. Okay, so see, if reservoir engineers will not going to implement such thing in his job profiles, what will happen? Some other people is they are going to take those advantage, and might be possible they are the only one who will going to work as a that in the data analytics role rather than reservoir engineers.
Okay, sir. And third question is, how the cloud system help better functionality of oil and gas industry in current trend?
Okay. So right now, see, a lot these pandemic situation is there, and as far as we understand that a lot of these operations are there, which is not. I mean, they are in all industries are there. They are not just stopping their production. They are currently doing, but they should not have so much man at that particular location. Okay, they want their company employees to be there in their office. Okay, maybe they are sitting at home. So cloud computing system is there, which will help us to update those data. So whatever data which is coming from my operations, that will I will going to transfer those data in the cloud computing system, cloud system. Now those data you can access while you are working from home. Okay, those data, so it will be easier for you to make the decision. So that's how the things will going to work. So the cloud system is will going to help us in such way. So many, right now there are a lot of these petroleum engineering profiles are coming where you are more familiar with the cloud computing system. So maybe if you are Azure certified or maybe some other certifications course are there, if you know that one, industry will prefer you more. Okay, I'm not talking about there is a small industry. I'm talking about the big industries like Shell, ExxonMobil. They are more require that they are more seeking those professionals or engineers which are more familiar with the cloud systems. Okay, like Azure certification, which I told you, right?
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your valuable information and your experience. This will be definitely will beneficial for us. We
Yes.
hope we will meet again soon.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.